Hi everyone, welcome to your capstone presentation. As you already said in class, it will be individual, but you're all welcome to observe what your colleagues are doing. And today, opening the floor for us is Adedayo Adeleke. So Leke, I'm just going to run you through what the structure is going to be like. You have the requirements, the project brief. All you need to do is go through the brief and then tell me what the requirement is, and then show me the requirement on your report. I think we have about 8 or 9 requirements. So you go through the requirements on the list on the brief, and then you show me how you've actually achieved that on your report. Is that is that clear? Are we good to go?
Yes, I'll say yes, we are.
So whenever you're ready, you can share your screen and start your presentation. Do a
Okay,
quick intro about yourself, very quickly, 1 2 minutes before you actually go into like the work itself. So yeah, over to you.
okay. So, hello everybody. My name is Adeleke, but people call me Leke. And I would say I was a product designer, never did anything in Power BI, even when I did my master's in about international business. The data analysis part, we never opened Power BI at all. But um, I I saw this course as something that would enlighten me due to the testimonies of others I've actually seen, and I can indeed say yes. It was an enlightening and brought me up to speed to where I actually am today, and that's why I think I have the confidence to come do my presentation today, and that's what I would like to do currently. So
Thank you very much. Ready when you are.
yeah, okay. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Yep.
A moment for me. Capstone. So yeah,
So you don't need to show us the brief, just show us the app
yeah,
itself. Yeah. Talk us through the
yeah, true.
requirements and then show us what it's like on the app.
Okay,
Oh,
so um, this is my project, which is the David Ade Academy, where we learned from, and this is the Power BI Capstone project for the sales data analysis for a global beverage company. And as we see, I'll be progressing us to the next slide. So what we're told, the business problem about the project was, or rather what we're trying to say the requirements are. What I realized as a business problem is that it's a global beverage company which requires help understanding their sales data, and then it was needed to compare it with the business plan, compare the actuals with the business plan and other forecast scenarios. And the objective was to provide insights on the sales amount, the volume, the net revenue, the discount analysis, and also the net revenue decomposition to have an overview of how the trends were in the organization, which the key requirements were like to create an interactive and automated dashboard for visualizations at various levels, to have a clearer overview and to be able to for for us to have a breakdown to see each insight, be it on the demand area, the category of the sales, the sub demand areas, what kind of product it is, how it was packaged, and the flavor. So these are the various levels that helped us narrow down what the um what it would be. And my approach towards it was I put the data, I put the actual data, the business plans table, the forecast 3 plus 9 tables, the 6 plus 6 tables, the 9 plus 3 tables. Those were from an SQL database, which was another data source. And then the other data source, which was for the master data, which I would like to call the master data, was from an Excel SharePoint. And what I did next was drafting our data model, which was integrating the actuals, the business plan, and all other forecasts into one cohesive model just for easy approach of the data. And then the next thing, I cleaned the data, looked for where there are discrepancies, looked for where there were blanks, and the data was pretty much clean for the most part, due to like we had more accurate data rather than some errors, and then there were little or no duplicates. So I guess we didn't have issues on that. And then I built the interactive views for the sales, the volume in cases, and the net revenues, because those were the what's the word, those were the metrics we were majorly looking into, and then implementing the various analysis between the actuals and other scenarios, which for us to also identify what the discount between these four discount types, because on the data there were also sorts of discount analysis which we needed to look for based off the requirements. So for the overview, this is the sales amount, which shows the total sales per demand area. And here's what the company is trying to look at. We have about 9 demand areas, which is the bulk buyers, the north, the city south, foreign, middle belt, modern trade, southeast, south, southwest, and the up north, which we have several which we have several sub-demand areas under each demand areas. And for example, when we look at the amount of goods and services that has actually been sold in total for the demand area, which is bulk buyers, we have like about 639,888 for bulk buyers. In bringing the accumulation of all of them in total, just for the whole calendar year, we have about 18,330,000, which actually I was not able to determine, and that's just for the actuals, which I think we could consider as maybe one region on itself. And then if we classify business plan as another region, I would like to show you what the the total amount of sales was also. So if we look at the difference, we see in business plan they didn't make as much as the actual region, which we could say was the
Sorry,
was one of the profit. Yeah.
sorry to cut you short, but I think what you just did is to select all, so not business plan. So click on business plan again, so we can look at
Oh,
business plan.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's more like it.
yeah, thanks. Sorry for that. So the business plan has 14 million, and if we go through others also, forecast 3 plus 9 has in total for the whole year 21 million, and going through forecast 6 plus that has 23 million, and forecast 9 plus 3 has 16 million. In total, if you want to see the combination of all of them in total, that's why we have the 94 million. And actuals itself is the 18 million. So if we're seeing in total, and then we have different flavors, we want to see how the organization is doing well in each individual flavor. We have the apple berry blast flavor, and we could see that if we select bitter lemon, this is the amount of goods sold. This is the amount of bitter lemon sold. But if we select Berry Blast, we see we actually didn't make any sale on Berry Blast. So I would say in the future, we shouldn't we shouldn't try to invest creation or invest money in the sale of Berry Blast. And if we look at the volume we have about Berry Blast, we could say we didn't even purchase anything. And that would also say it didn't generate any revenue for us because we didn't have anything, we didn't purchase anything, so there was no sale on that. But I guess we only have it on the data because in the past year we most likely have had the sale of Berry Blast. But this year we don't have any one of that. And this is in all pack types. And this is in all pack types. But if we look at goods that we sold that were canned, we would see that we still have we don't have Berry Blast on this list now because now we are looking for goods that are just can only, which I'm taking Berry Blast to be the case study. We're seeing we have only apple, bitter lemon, bitter water, Chapman, citrus, cola as the products that are can typed. And if we look at the demand areas, I wouldn't like to go through all of the demand areas, but for the products that were canned products, these are the areas, and we can see that we only have them in the energy category and the SSD category. That is, we only have more of energy drinks and SSD drinks in cans. But if we say we want to see which the total sums up to 3 million, and that's the net revenue for it. But if we say we should look at individual areas, I don't want to delay most of our time with this. So, but basically, we can see this generally shows us how we are doing. This generally narrow down all the products that we have. And next, next on the slide, I'd like to show us also is is the trend analysis, which in comparing the trend analysis, like I said, actuals is the major plant. That's where the headquarters is. So comparing how the headquarters is doing to every other location that we have, the business plan, the forecast 3 plus 9, the forecast 6 plus 6, and the forecast 9 plus 3. If we look at the blue label here saying indicating where actuals is doing, we could see about the trend for the net revenue that in the 6th month forecast at any point in time, we were not having much um at any point in time between actuals, business plan, and forecast. We could forecast 3 plus 9, we could see forecast 3 plus 9 was actually doing more in net revenue, more than actuals and business plan. And also we could see that basically if we check, if we're looking at the 6th month now, the 6th month says forecast 6 plus 6 here is about 2.2 million. And then if we compare it to the 3 points, if we compare it to 3 plus 9, which happens to be one of the top one here, we see forecast 6 plus 6 actually had more of the profits here in the net revenue. But looking at the sales amount for all of these things, we can see the peak sales amount was in the 12th year. And what could that tell us? That could tell us that most of our sales, we sell less in the very first year of the month, which is January, but we have more sales in the at the end of the year, which could also indicate that yes, um it's our products, most of our products are the seasonal products, which could be maybe due to the celebration of the new year or the celebration of whatever comes at the end of the year. But we can see that we make most of our sales at the end of the year. And that's why if we look at the net revenue also, we see that's where we have the peak sales in the year. So that's said to be at the end of the year. And that would rather now make me say like in for the next year when we're trying to look at the products that gives us more revenue, we should try to invest more, look at the top products that sell most in the year and limit our purchase to the products for us not to incur losses. And that was why for us to see the losses, uh most most of it we're here in the variance analysis, comparing how much we lost in from different aspects. We can see that here we have negatives from business to actual, from actuals and business plan, which was one of the ways that I did it. Like I subtracted the actuals from the business plan just to see how much we've lost. And by so doing, I was able to identify that we ran into loss from the from this when we look at the sales that we did. But in but comparing it to forecast 3 plus 9, which was the peak, like I showed on the bar chart earlier, using the bar chart to represent it earlier, we could see that good profits. We made good profits to a certain amount in most locations. And those were the key insights that I was able to draw out from the presentation, from the data that we're, we're given. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nice one. Nice one. Before I give my before I give my feedback on what I think, and then before Toby gives your feedback as well, can you please go to the Power BI service and show me that you've done a successful refresh?
Oh, okay.
So you can stop sharing, go to the service, and come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I want to see that you've done a successful refresh.
Oh, okay. Let me just go here. I don't know why this laptop is always hanging at crucial points. Just give me a minute. Just want
All
to
right.
link. My bad.
Yeah, it's fine. So I think you're in the wrong place. Um, I want you to go to the Power BI service and show me that you have a successful refresh. So that should be from the workspace, not the app.
Yeah.
So show me where you had the successful refresh for the capstone.
Mm, I
So
I
just
don't quite.
go to the options on that semantic model. Yeah, click on that. Then click on refresh history. So yeah, your data set has refreshed successfully. So that's live. That's fine. That's perfect. So you can close that. That's fine. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Toby, do you want to drop your comments before I say mine?
Yes, thank you very much, Leke. It was a good presentation in terms of like understanding what you were doing. Like you really understood what you were talking about. Like you had that convention in the numbers and everything. I mean, the in terms of what you have done, it's okay. I mean, the what's it called? The alignments and texts could be better in terms of some of your. If you go back to your presentation itself, like trend analysis, some of them could be the combinations could be better in terms of like how you align the texts, border placements, and all those things. So, but in terms of the actual work itself, like I don't think, I mean, like the little things that you did, they were clicking, they were working. So it means that obviously that's good. The design part of it, obviously, that comes with like frequent doing it frequently and getting it right. But yeah, all in all, it was a good presentation.
Thank you.
Cool.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay. My turn now. So firstly, um, I love the fact that you actually used PowerPoint. Um, I didn't expect that to happen. But the fact that you went through PowerPoint to show that you have a very good understanding of how the entire Office 365 applications
Yeah.
actually work in sync, that was a nice touch of class. So for those that don't understand, that's basically a live report within Microsoft PowerPoint. So that was a very good one. Um, I like the fact that you did not just go through the requirements and do what we've requested. You've actually tried to go a bit further. You're starting to derive insight. You're starting to make business recommendations. Those were not in the requirements, but it's a good thing that you're not just cooking the numbers. You're actually trying to make sense of the numbers. So that's really good. I'm happy with that. I really, really like that. Um, yeah, you've tried to get insight and even take it a step further to make recommendations for the business. That's cool. That's really nice. So that's good. In terms of the sites that I think you can improve on, if you want to share your screen again, the PowerPoint, I want to show you
Okay.
something very quickly. And
Uh,
while that is coming up, I want to highlight something. When you were speaking about actuals and business plan and the different forecast scenarios, you mentioned something about you referred to actuals like a location, headquarters, and then you said the other 6 plus 6 at different locations. That's not very accurate because actual is just basically the actual sales. Forecast is like a simulated amount of figure that we think we can achieve. So they are not actual locations; they're just different business scenarios that we're comparing.
yeah.
Just to clear that. So if you go
Okay.
to the page where you have go to any of the pages with the dashboard itself on your sub demand area, the sub demand area slicer is not wide enough, and I'll show you what I mean. So you can stop there. So go to you didn't even present this by the way, but it's fine. If you uh, it's fine. Go to sub demand area, click on the drop down. So if you notice here, I can't really see what I'm
Yeah.
selecting. everything is just sub-demand area because the numbers are out of, they are basically lost them. Do you understand? So what you could have done here is increase the width of the slicer so we actually see what we're selecting, because right now I can't really see what's what. There's nothing to select here. Increase the width or reduce the font of the values. Okay, but right now I'm looking at sub-demand area in 10 different places and I cannot really differentiate what is what. So that's the only bit that I think I was able to catch very quickly. Other than that, I'm happy with everything you've done. It's spot on. I could not have asked for more, and I'm very pleased. I am very pleased. Um, cool. So just to wrap this up. In general, I mean, this is the end of the course. Can you just do a very quick summary in another 2-3 minutes? What the process has been like, what skills you've picked up, what you think the highlight of the course was, and yeah, just should I say closing remarks? Because now you're very much refined. I don't know where you were coming from, if it was ground zero or maybe you had some data experience, but for sure you're in a very, very good position. The fact that you can create this, you can speak about it, um, that's a very big deal. So yes, you're very much ready. You're ready. You're good to go. Obviously, when you get on the job, there are more difficult scenarios, more difficult requirements, but these are the building blocks you need to be able to conquer those. So, closing remarks over to you, Leke, before we end the call.
Yeah, thank you very much. First, I'd like to say thanks to the David Ade Academy because honestly and genuinely, I wouldn't have been here. In 2022, a friend of mine told me to like start Power BI. The moment I opened Power BI, I installed it on my computer, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" I I closed it, and since 2022, the next time I actually opened like proper open Power BI was on the 6th of July 2024, and that was the day we started this class. And I remember that date to like always because this class actually means a lot to me because basically just says I started from, like you said, ground, absolute zero. If there was a minus, I'll place myself there. I never saw myself cleaning data. I always ask myself, how do they understand what to remove from the data, what to add into the data, what to clean? Because it all looks like magic to me. I and I would say even with the way he explained that I was explaining the sales, you would even realize that yes, I didn't understand much, calling actuals a location and stuff, which shows that yes, I am still a work in progress. And I would say David Ade Academy actually took me from ground zero to hero in this. And I'm looking forward to be superhero, not just a hero. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You've done an amazing job. I have nothing else to add. Just thank you. Because it's one thing to teach, it's another thing to see the results of your teaching. So for sure, I can see the results, and there is nothing that gives me more joy. 100%. Um, on that note, I bring this particular presentation to a close. So I'm going to stop recording now.